Nutrition before and during pregnancy is crucial for both mother and child. A woman's weight, diet, and lifestyle can influence not only her chances of conceiving, but also the health of her pregnancy and her baby's future. Scientific research shows that what a mother eats and how she cares for herself can have lasting effects, sometimes even programming her child's health for years to come. This means that making healthy choices early on is one of the best gifts a mother can give her child. In this video, we'll explore the key aspects of nutrition and lifestyle that every woman should know before and during pregnancy. There are certain periods during fetal development that are especially sensitive to nutrition. These are known as critical windows. During these times, a baby's organs and systems are forming, and any nutritional imbalance can have a major impact. For example, the first trimester is a time of rapid cell division and organ formation. If a mother is lacking key nutrients during this stage, it can affect her baby's growth and even increase the risk of health problems later in life. That's why it's so important to focus on good nutrition even before pregnancy begins. Undernutrition during pregnancy remains a major issue in many low-to-middle-income countries. Women often face multiple micronutrient deficiencies, which can lead to higher rates of maternal and infant mortality. But even in developed countries, low intakes of certain nutrients like folate and vitamin D are common. In the UK, for example, many women of childbearing age have poor folate and vitamin D status, increasing the risk of birth defects and other complications. Addressing these gaps is essential for improving outcomes for mothers and babies worldwide. Folate or vitamin B9 is especially important before and during early pregnancy. Low folate levels can lead to neural tube defects, which affect the brain and spinal cord of the developing baby. Taking a folic acid supplement before conception and during the first 12 weeks of pregnancy can prevent most of these birth defects. Foods rich in folate include green leafy vegetables, oranges, and fortified cereals. In some countries, breads and grains are fortified with folic acid to help reduce the risk. Ensuring adequate folate intake is a simple but powerful way to protect your baby's health. Vitamin D plays a vital role in bone health and immune function for both mother and baby. Low vitamin D levels during pregnancy have been linked to a range of adverse outcomes, including low birth weight and increased risk of certain diseases. In the UK and many other countries, women are advised to take a daily vitamin D supplement, especially during the winter months when sunlight exposure is limited. Foods like oily fish, eggs, and fortified products can also help boost vitamin D levels. Maintaining adequate vitamin D is key for a healthy pregnancy. In addition to folate and vitamin D, several other micronutrients are crucial during pregnancy. Iodine supports brain development, iron is needed for making red blood cells, and calcium helps build strong bones and teeth. Many women don't get enough of these nutrients from their diets alone. Iron deficiency is especially common and can lead to anemia, increasing the risk of complications for both mother and baby. Eating a varied diet with plenty of dairy, lean meats, fish, eggs, and fortified foods can help meet these needs. Maternal overweight and obesity are rising worldwide and are linked to several pregnancy complications. These include gestational diabetes, high blood pressure, birth defects, and a higher chance of needing a cesarean section. Obesity can also affect fertility and make it harder to conceive. For women planning a pregnancy, reaching a healthy weight beforehand can improve outcomes for both mother and baby. Healthy eating and regular physical activity are the best ways to achieve this goal. Certain substances can be especially harmful during pregnancy. Alcohol can cause irreversible damage to the developing baby, and smoking increases the risk of low birth weight and stillbirth. Pregnant women are also more susceptible to foodborne illnesses, so it's important to avoid risky foods like unpasteurized dairy, raw eggs, and certain types of fish. Practicing good food hygiene and making safe choices helps protect both mother and baby from preventable harm. Staying active during pregnancy has many benefits. Regular moderate exercise helps maintain a healthy weight, reduces the risk of gestational diabetes, and can improve mood and energy levels. Activities like walking, swimming, and prenatal yoga are generally safe for most women. However, it's important to avoid contact sports or activities with a high risk of falling. Always consult with a healthcare provider before starting or continuing an exercise routine during pregnancy. Period from conception to child's second birthday, about 1,000 days, is considered a critical window for nutrition. During this time, the foundations for lifelong health are laid. Good nutrition during pregnancy and early childhood supports healthy growth, brain development, and reduces the risk of chronic diseases later in life. That's why it's so important for mothers to focus on their own nutrition and health, starting even before pregnancy. The developmental origins of health and disease hypothesis suggests that events during fetal development can influence health throughout life. For example, babies born with low birth weight are at higher risk for heart disease, diabetes, and obesity as adults. This theory highlights the importance of maternal nutrition and health before and during pregnancy. By ensuring good nutrition, mothers can help set their children on a path to lifelong wellness. Fetal programming refers to the idea that a stimulus or insult during a critical period of development can have permanent effects on the structure and function of organs and tissues. For example, a lack of certain nutrients during the first trimester can affect how the baby's heart, brain, or kidneys develop. These changes can increase the risk of diseases later in life. That's why it's so important for mothers to have a balanced, nutrient-rich diet before and during pregnancy. Recent research has shown that nutrition during pregnancy can even affect gene expression through epigenetic mechanisms. This means that the effects of a mother's diet can be passed on to future generations, not just her own child. For example, changes in DNA methylation can influence how genes are turned on or off, affecting health outcomes for years to come. This emerging science underscores the far-reaching impact of maternal nutrition. Historical events like the Dutch famine have provided powerful evidence for the importance of nutrition during pregnancy. Children born to mothers who experienced famine during pregnancy had higher rates of chronic diseases as adults. These experiments of history show that both undernutrition and overnutrition can have lasting effects. Today, we use this knowledge to guide recommendations for balanced diets before and during pregnancy. A woman's nutritional status at the time of conception is a key factor in her baby's development. The early weeks of pregnancy are when the embryo is most vulnerable, and many women may not even know they are pregnant during this time. That's why it's important to build up nutrient stores before conception. Eating a balanced diet, maintaining a healthy weight, and taking recommended supplements can help ensure the best start for both mother and baby. Both underweight and overweight can affect a woman's ability to conceive and have a healthy pregnancy. Women who are underweight may have irregular cycles and higher risks of poor birth outcomes. On the other hand, overweight and obesity can impair fertility and increase the risk of complications like gestational diabetes and preeclampsia. Achieving a healthy body weight before pregnancy is one of the best ways to support fertility and a healthy pregnancy. Many women of childbearing age have low intakes of key micronutrients, including iron, calcium, iodine, and zinc. Iron deficiency anemia is especially common and can affect both mother and baby. In the UK, surveys show that a significant proportion of teenage girls and women have intakes below recommended levels. Addressing these deficiencies before pregnancy can help ensure a healthier pregnancy and better outcomes for the baby. Taking a folic acid supplement is one of the most important steps women can take before and during early pregnancy. The World Health Organization recommends 400 micrograms daily, starting at least 2 months before conception and continuing through the first trimester. Women with higher risk factors may need a higher dose. In addition to supplements, eating folate-rich foods like leafy greens and fortified cereals is recommended. Some countries have introduced mandatory fortification of foods with folic acid to help prevent neural tube defects. For example, Canada, the USA, and Australia have seen significant reductions in birth defects since introducing folic acid fortification in wheat flour. However, many countries, including those in the EU, have not yet adopted this policy. Until then, individual supplementation remains essential for women planning pregnancy. In the UK, women planning pregnancy are advised to eat a healthy, balanced diet with plenty of iron and folate-rich foods. A daily folic acid supplement is recommended until the 12th week of pregnancy. Vitamin D supplementation is also advised, especially during winter. Women should maintain a healthy weight, avoid alcohol, limit caffeine, and avoid foods high in vitamin A, such as liver products. During pregnancy, a woman's body needs more nutrients to support the growing baby. However, this doesn't mean eating for two. Instead, focus on nutrient-dense foods that provide vitamins, minerals, protein, and healthy fats. Supplements may be necessary for some nutrients, especially if dietary intake is insufficient. Regular checkups with healthcare providers can help ensure all nutritional needs are being met. Weight gain during pregnancy varies from woman to woman and depends on pre-pregnancy weight. The U.S. Institute of Medicine provides guidelines based on BMI, with underweight women needing to gain more and overweight women less. Gaining too much or too little weight can increase risks for both mother and baby. It's important to follow personalized advice from healthcare providers and avoid dieting during pregnancy. Pregnancy increases energy needs, especially in the third trimester. In the UK, an extra 200 calories per day is recommended during the last trimester. However, energy needs vary based on activity level and pre-pregnancy weight. Overeating can lead to excessive weight gain, while undereating can increase the risk of low birth weight. Focus on quality, not just quantity, when it comes to calories. Protein is essential for building tissues, hormones, and enzymes during pregnancy. Needs increase as the baby grows, especially in the second and third trimesters. Most women in developed countries get enough protein from their diets, but in some regions, supplementation may be necessary. Good sources include lean meats, fish, eggs, dairy, beans, and nuts. Avoid high-protein supplements unless advised by a healthcare professional. Carbohydrates provide energy for both mother and baby. Whole grains, fruits, and vegetables are the best sources, as they also provide fiber. Fiber helps prevent constipation, a common issue during pregnancy. Increasing fluid intake and staying active can also help maintain regular bowel movements and overall digestive health. Healthy fats are important for fetal brain and eye development. Omega-3 fatty acids, especially DHA, are found in oily fish like salmon and sardines. Pregnant women should aim for 1 or 2 servings of fish per week, but avoid high-mercury fish such as shark and swordfish. Plant oils, nuts, and seeds also provide essential fatty acids. Supplements may be considered if dietary intake is low. Vitamin A is essential for cell growth and vision, but too much can be harmful during pregnancy. High doses, especially from supplements or liver products, can cause birth defects. Instead, focus on getting vitamin A from a varied diet that includes dairy, eggs, and colorful vegetables like carrots and spinach. Avoid vitamin A supplements unless prescribed by a healthcare provider. The vitamins, including folate, B12, and riboflavin, play key roles in energy metabolism and red blood cell formation. Folate is especially important for preventing neural tube defects. Vitamin B12 deficiency is rare in women who eat animal products, but vegetarians and vegans may need supplements. Eating a varied diet with whole grains, dairy, and lean meats helps ensure adequate intake. Vitamin D is produced in the skin through sunlight exposure, but many women, especially in northern climates, may not get enough. Supplements are recommended for all pregnant women in the UK. Foods like oily fish, eggs, and fortified products can help, but may not be sufficient alone. Maintaining adequate vitamin D supports bone health for both mother and baby. Iron is vital for making hemoglobin, which carries oxygen in the blood. During pregnancy, iron needs increase to support the growing baby and placenta. Iron deficiency anemia is common and can lead to fatigue, low birth weight, and other complications. Good sources include red meat, poultry, fish, beans, and fortified cereals. Vitamin C-rich foods help with absorption. Supplements may be needed if blood tests show low levels. Iodine is essential for making thyroid hormones, which are critical for brain development. Severe deficiency can cause intellectual disabilities and other problems. In the UK, many women have low iodine intakes, especially those who avoid dairy or fish. Using iodized salt and eating dairy, eggs, and seafood can help meet needs. Supplements may be recommended in some cases. Calcium is needed for building the baby's bones and teeth. During pregnancy, the body becomes more efficient at absorbing calcium, so most women don't need extra. However, it's important to get enough from foods like dairy, fortified plant milks, canned fish with bones, and leafy greens. Calcium supplements may be considered for women with low dietary intake. Zinc is important for fetal growth, brain development, and immune function. Deficiency can increase the risk of preterm birth and infections. Good sources include meat, cheese, shellfish, whole grains, nuts, and pulses. In areas where diets are low in animal foods, supplementation may be necessary. Eating a varied diet helps ensure adequate zinc intake. Fluid requirements increase during pregnancy to support higher blood volume and amniotic fluid. Most women should aim for at least 6-8 glasses of water per day, more if active or in hot climates. Staying hydrated helps prevent constipation and supports overall health. Remember to replace fluids lost through morning sickness or exercise. Pregnant teenagers face unique nutritional challenges. They are still growing themselves and may compete with their fetus for nutrients. Teenage pregnancies are more likely to result in low birth weight and preterm delivery. Young women often have poorer diets and are less likely to take supplements. Special guidance and support are needed to help them achieve healthy pregnancies. Some ethnic minority groups are at higher risk of poor pregnancy outcomes, including low birth weight and vitamin D deficiency. Cultural dietary patterns, vegetarianism, and reduced sun exposure can all contribute to nutrient shortfalls. Tailored advice and culturally sensitive support can help ensure these women get the nutrients they need for a healthy pregnancy. Women from lower socioeconomic backgrounds are more likely to have poor diets, lower supplement use, and higher rates of obesity or undernutrition. These factors increase the risk of complications during pregnancy and for the baby. Community programs and targeted support can help bridge these gaps and improve outcomes for mothers and children. Obese women are at higher risk of pregnancy complications and are less likely to use nutritional supplements. They may also have lower levels of folate and vitamin D. Some experts recommend higher doses of folic acid for obese women. Encouraging supplement use and healthy lifestyle changes before and during pregnancy can help reduce risks. Smoking during pregnancy is linked to lower birth weight, preterm delivery, and stillbirth. It also reduces levels of key nutrients like vitamin C and folate. Quitting smoking before or during pregnancy is one of the best ways to improve outcomes for both mother and baby. Support from healthcare providers and community resources can make a big difference. Studies show that healthy dietary patterns, rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean meats, fish, and legumes, are linked to better pregnancy outcomes. These diets reduce the risk of low birth weight, preterm delivery, and complications like gestational diabetes. Focusing on whole foods rather than single nutrients helps ensure a balanced intake and supports both mother and baby. Certain foods should be avoided during pregnancy to reduce the risk of foodborne illness and exposure to harmful substances. These include unpasteurized dairy, raw or undercooked eggs and meats, certain fish high in mercury, and liver products. Practicing good food hygiene and following safety guidelines helps protect both mother and baby. While a balanced diet is the foundation of good nutrition, supplements are often necessary during pregnancy. Folic acid and vitamin D are universally recommended, and iron or other micronutrients may be prescribed based on individual needs. Multivitamin supplements can be helpful, but avoid those containing vitamin A. Always consult a healthcare provider before starting any supplement. Caffeine should be limited during pregnancy, as high intakes are linked to low birth weight. The safe limit is about 200 mg per day, roughly 2 cups of coffee or 4 cups of tea. Alcohol should be avoided entirely, as even small amounts can increase the risk of birth defects and developmental problems. When in doubt, choose water, milk, or caffeine-free herbal teas. Moderate physical activity is safe and beneficial during pregnancy. Aim for at least 30 minutes most days, choosing low-impact activities like walking or swimming. Avoid contact sports and exercises with a high risk of falling. Always warm up and cool down, stay hydrated, and avoid overheating. Consult your healthcare provider before starting a new exercise routine. Good nutrition and a healthy lifestyle before and during pregnancy lay the foundation for a healthy pregnancy and a healthy baby. Focus on a balanced diet, take recommended supplements, stay active, and avoid harmful substances. Regular checkups with healthcare professionals can help ensure you and your baby are on the right track. Remember, the choices you make now can have lifelong benefits for your child's health and well-being.